So now I want to go into a tribute. Donald G. Harris died on Saturday, October 9, 2010 in England, following a brief illness at the age of 83. Donald and his wife Evelyn had 6 children. He lived most of his life in Linfield, having been brought up in South Linfield, not far from the Newburyport Turnpike. In 1938, at age 11, Donald moved to Stafford, England with his family. While in England, Donald attended Downside School in Somerset and matriculated at Cambridge University, Trinity College, in October 1944. At the end of the war in 1945, Donald and his family returned to their home in Linfield. Donald transferred to Harvard University, graduating in 1948. He received a master's in education, as far as I don't know, from Boston College in 1958, and LIB from BC Law School, which translates to Bachelor of Laws in Latin. An LLB degree is a common first step towards qualifying as a solicitor or barrister, the titles of lawyers in the UK and other common law countries. He passed the Massachusetts Bar in 1958. Although he never actively practiced law, he remained a member of the Massachusetts Bar. From 1950 to 1952, during the Korean War, Donald served in the 278th RCT, with 6 months of that time spent on duty in Iceland. He taught math in South Paris, Maine, and at Malden High School. In 1956, Donald joined his father and brother as a partner in their firm, International Advisory Services. The company specialized in advising European footwear manufacturing regarding advanced American production and retailing methods. IAS also successfully acted as the USA sales agents for 2 UK leather manufacturers and a shoe machinery manufacturer. Later, the firm became the North American agent for Investa of Prague, Czechoslovakia. As the official government marketing company for Stroj's Vista, I don't know what that is, Kamov, Investa, brought to the world the Melissa staking machine, an advanced but simple machine that revolutionized leather processing. IAS introduced this machine into practically every tannery in North America. Donald stayed with IAS until 1978, at which time he formed his own company, Harris International Corporation. Until 1986, HIC represented European manufacturers, at which time he merged his company with the American subsidiary of German firm called Dynaton. He retired in 1992 after having served as president of the USA branch. Donald, following in his footsteps of his father, was very much involved in the life of Linfield. He was an original member of the Conservation Commission and served on the planning board of 2 separate terms for a total of 29 years. He also served on the Board of Appeals. His total official service for the town was 39 years. In addition to his official positions, Donald was involved in the organization of the Linfield Scholarship Foundation, was president of Townscape Inc., and was president of the Linfield Historical Society for 5 years. As an agreeable and patient individual, he got along with people easily. He was particularly proud of the work of Townscape. With the industry and enthusiasm of members in the cooperation of the DPW, nearly 700 trees were planted along the streets of Linfield and in the parks and cemeteries. As president of the Historical Society, he obtained funds from a charitable foundation, enabling the society to give the 1714 Meeting House a second breath and get it well on its way to its next 100 years. Donald Harris valued education and always appreciated the educational opportunities that came his way. He stayed connected with his old school in England, and also with Cambridge, Harvard, and Boston College. As a member of the Harvard class of 48, he was chairman of their 30th and 45th reunions and co-chair of the 50th, 55th, and 60th. He was a supporter of the Friends of Harvard Celtic Studies, was a member of Kirkland House Senior Common Room. Donald was a strong supporter of the Inner City Scholarship Fund, which actively supports Boston's parochial schools. He was a longtime member of the Linfield Rotary Club and involved in many other volunteer activities, including Windrush Farm and Reading for the Blind. This is a tribute that was written by Anthony Wellman at the time of Donald's death. So Anthony Wellman was the man you saw earlier, the Wellman relative who came back for the celebrations. So this is what Anthony wrote. Not being a resident of Linfield area, I just now read of Donald's passing and am greatly saddened. My sincere condolences to his friends, family, and community. During my visit to Linfield in 2004, when we met, he was the kindly and consummate host to me on my introduction to the town my ancestors helped settle in the 1600s. What a wonderful tour guide he was. His graciousness and enthusiasm for the town and its history had a lot to do with my taking a life membership in the Linfield Historical Society. From even that brief time with him, I am able to tell his enthusiasm and support for the town, its inhabitants, and history will be very much missed. He will leave some big shoes to fill. I count myself fortunate to have met him. Here's another remembrance left on Donald's at the time of Donald's death. Wonderful memories of Don as a class of 1948 classmate, real participant running reunions, and active class committee member, was a member. My thoughts are with the family, Wally Robb, 1948, Sherburne, Mass. And then one more from Donna Gorshell of Cohen Brookline. Donna Gorshell Cohen of Brookline. I have fond memories of Donald as a planning board member, helping me with municipal law matters. My thoughts are with the Harris family. Now, this is Robert Harris, who just passed away this year. He was born in Swampscott, September 5th, 1925, and was the son of the late John and Anna Tully Harris. In 1938, he moved from Linfield to Stafford, England, with his family, where he lived and attended Downside School, a boarding school in Somerset, England. In 1943, Robert had a desire to enlist in the military. It was important to him as an American citizen to become a member of the U.S. Marine Corps. He was the first ever United States Marine to be recruited in England. He served as an active duty Marine lieutenant during World War II. After his service in the military, he attended Boston University and graduated with a degree in business and began working in his family business. As his career advanced, he eventually took over from his dad and grew the business even further. International Advisory Services still exists today. It is in its fourth generation and is now run by Robert's son, Peter. He had been a Linfield resident for over 80 years and enjoyed fishing, reading, and spending summers on Cape Cod. And this is just a nice picture I found of Robert Harris, or Bob Harris. And it just looks like jolly old England to me, and I just put the quotes from The Parting Glass. Of all the money ever I spent it in good company. Of all the harm I've ever done, alas, it was to none but me. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all. Okay, one more tribute, and this is Charlie Wills, who just passed away, and I just had to rush this in today to get it done. But people remember Charlie Wills was a great citizen of Linfield and a great builder. We'll get into how many houses he built here anyway. So Charles Barry Wills, noted home builder, died on May 14, 2025 at the age of 101. His wife of nearly 77 years, Arline or Arnie Wills, died in 2023. Charlie grew up in Melrose, Mass, where he was born in 1924 to architect Royal Barry Wills and Margaret Woggett Wills. He graduated from Melrose High School in 1941 and was attending Tilton Junior College when war was declared in December of that year. He enlisted in November 1942 and was called to duty on February 19, 1943. After an extended training period across the U.S., Charlie was deployed to southern Italy in September 1944, where he survived 35 missions as a radio operator gunner on a B-24. After the war, Charlie married Arnie, his high school sweetheart, on September 22, 1946, and they completed their last year of college together at UNH. 2 days after graduation, Charlie became a builder in Linfield, Mass, riding the wave of the post-war home building boom. Working largely in Linfield, but also elsewhere in Massachusetts, Charles B. Wills and Company built more than 600 homes in collaboration with Charlie's father and brother's architectural firm and in partnership with his cousin Roger Harris. While his children were young, his office was in his home, so his kids knew every carpenter, mason, and painter. Decades after his retirement, Will's built, in a real estate listing, still commands a premium price. Charlie contributed in innumerable ways to community life in Lynnfield, serving on many town committees, including police and fire building, sewer septic, open space, drainage, bicentennial, and water district. Even in his mid-90s, he served for many years on the Lynnfield Planning Board. When he stepped down, he was lauded by the chairman as our conscience, reality check, and unofficial historian. He was also director of the Melrose Cooperative Bank from 1955 to 1998, serving as board chairman from 1984 to 1998. Beyond his love for family and home building, Charlie's top three interests were camp, cars, and skiing. In 1932, his family hand-built a camp on Great East Lake in Acton, Maine. For the next 92 summers, it was a nexus of visiting children, grandchildren, aunts, uncles, and cousins who would gather to swim and boat, play tennis, and listen to the loons. His fascination with cars began in his teens. Tributes in his college yearbook say, "To a guy who really knows his wrenches," and "Good luck to a damn good mechanic." Into his late 90s, he still owned a 1935 Ford convertible, a 1941 Lincoln Continental, his mother's 1956 T-Bird, and a 1965 Ford Mustang. Although he didn't begin skiing until he was nearly 40, he became an avid downhill skier, continuing until age 92, the same age at which he gave up tennis. Charlie and Arnie lived in Lynnfield, Mass. For 72 years. In 2021, they moved to Edgewood Retirement Community in North Andover to enjoy a more active social life without the cares of home maintenance. There, Charlie stayed in independent living until 3 days before his death, with great support from neighbors, friends, and the entire Edgewood community. A memorial service will be held this summer in Lynnfield, details to be announced later. So these are just some pictures I gathered of a young Arnie and Charlie Wills. And this is their home. This is the first home he built for himself. He had 4 houses in Lynnfield eventually. And I guess this is just them enjoying their time in their yard. So while Charlie was building all those houses, he and Arnie raised 4 children. Richard, 1948, Nancy, 1950, Cynthia, 1952, and Martha, 1959. Basically, in the game of life, I consider him a winner. I mean, he's a great man. He's got a nice family. He and Arnie lived in Lynnfield 72 years. In 2021, they moved to Edgewood. They were married for nearly 77 years until Arnie died on September 1st, 2023. Charlie celebrated his 100th birthday last February, dancing with Libby, his oldest of 7 grandchildren. And that's my tribute to Charlie Wells.
He was on the planning board for a long time, and he was served so well because he had the institutional memory of, what they had done in the past. And so he was excellent when he made comments at the meetings. So the time came for him for them to have more planning board people. And he decided he wasn't going to run. But all of a sudden one day I'm at town hall and Charlie's there and he's telling me he's going to run. He said it was obvious that he was going to run for town planning board. And I said, "Charlie, what happened? You decided to run?" He said, "Yeah, well, it was a 2-year term, and I would only be 98 when my term was up." So he ran, and he got the 2-year term.